Good afternoon and welcome. Glad you could make it. And let me just answer uh, Stanley's question here. There's a built-in flashlight, so if you're using an app that you download from somewhere, those are problematic. So the flashlight is built into the control center, so use that app. So, and Leslie Ann is having problems with sound. And yeah, well, on your keyboard would be a good place to check. Um, I don't know what else you could do. And Denny says, oh, the remodeled Apple Store. And it's looking pretty good. Well, great. And Leslie has got it. So great. You hit mute by mistake. And there Bob has another idea, but Leslie solved the problem. So let's get started talking about Mac irritations and how to fix them on Go for Lunch for June 17th, 2025. Brought to you by GoFor Technology. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and we are here to make your technology work for you. It's National Eat Your Vegetables Day. Does that sound like something your mother used to say? I don't know. So eat all those colorful vegetables, be a vegetarian at least for this day, and celebrate National Eat Your Vegetables Day. Mac irritations. There are some things that the Mac does that the developers thought would be handy, but they turn out not to be so handy for many of us. So we're going to look at some of those today and see how to fix those. Hi, Chris. And so the first thing is you click on your desktop and all your windows just disappear. What's that all about? Well, the fix is you go to System Settings, Desktop and Dock. You click Wallpaper to reveal Desktop. Now this doesn't make a lot of sense. And you select only Stage Manager. So let's go look and see how we do that. So we're going to go into Settings here. And we're going to go to Desktop. And over here it says click Wallpaper to reveal Desktop. And if you click here to only in Stage Manager, that will cure that problem. So maybe your dock takes up too much space, especially if you have a MacBook with a 13-inch or a 14-inch screen. That can be a problem. So one way to do that would be go into System Settings, Desktop and Dock, Dock Size, and use the slider to adjust it. So let's look at Settings again. So at the very top of Settings, we have Dock Size. Actually, when we want to go into the Finder here, so you can see how this changes. So now you use a little slider here, and you can see the icons at the bottom, and you can see they can get really tiny, so that you can't even read them. But you might be able to find a size where they're readable, but they take up less space. And you can see they get up here. You get up here to about halfway, and they really don't get any bigger. So that's one way to do that. So you can also adjust the position from the default, which is having the dock on the bottom, to having the dock on the left or the right side. So let's go back to the Finder. Let's go to Settings. And so you can see here it says Position on Screen. I have it set right now at bottom. but I could have it set to the right. So if I go over here to the right, there they are. I could have it set to the left, and if I go over here to the left, there they are. But I like to have it at the bottom. Actually, on my other computer, I do have them on the left, so I do it both ways. So you can also hide the dock, which will give you a little bit more room. So let's show you how to do that. Go back to settings. And you can see here that it was here a minute ago. Where did it go? Automatically hide and show dock. So now when I go down to the very bottom, the dock pops up, and when I go up with my mouse or my cursor, the dock disappears. If I turn that off, then of course the dock is there all the time. So that can save you a little bit of space too, especially again on a smaller computer. So maybe your dock takes up too much space. Again, this is on a 13, 14-inch screen perhaps, and you can use that to hide the dock. I just showed you that. You can also get rid of the show suggested recent docks recent apps in the dock. So let's go to settings. Well, actually, let's go to Finder. And you see this space over here. You see the vertical line right here. Well, the last, actually, I've got 7 apps in here. The default is 3. So I can get rid of that by going to settings. And I can go to where is it? I'm going to find it. Here we go. No. Let's see. Where is it? I had this here a minute ago. There we go. Show recent and suggested and recent apps in the dock. So if I turn this off, you can see those are not there. They're still there because they're open right now. So you can do that. Another one you can do is get rid of unused apps in your dock. So again, we go to the Finder and we go to settings, and then we can go here. So let's see, I don't need to see podcasts, for example. So I right click, go to options, and I go to remove from dock. And you see now podcasts is not there. So that's another way you can get rid of unused items on your dock. So sometimes you get notifications that you don't want. How do you fix that? Well, you go to notifications and you go to the specific app that's giving you those notifications, and you just turn off those unnecessary ones. So let's go here to System Settings, and we're going to go to Notifications, which is right down here. And then you can just go into a notification, and you can or into an app, and you can switch it off. So now it won't give you any notifications. So you can see here that I have some switched off here. Chrome. I have Clean My Mac switched off, and so forth. So that's the way you do it. If something is bothering you, and you can just turn it off. Also in Safari, you can go to Settings, Websites, and Notifications, because sometimes you get notifications from websites. So let's go into Safari and go to Settings. And here we are in Websites up here on top. So you can see here I am allowing notifications from these websites except for this one. And I just click on Deny. You see you have Allow and Deny. And that way you can tailor it to your preferences. Now, also you want to check allow websites to ask for permission to send you notifications. So that way you can get, and you notice here we're in notifications over here on the left. So you go to Settings, Website, Notifications, and you get this page right here, and you can turn off your notifications. And we talked about allow websites to send notifications. Spotlight searches return too many results. Of course, Spotlight is activated by Command and tapping the space bar. So to fix that, you go into Settings, to Spotlight, and you just simply turn off the settings or the areas that you don't want to see. So here we are back in Settings again, and we go to Spotlight, which is right here. And so you see I have turned off fonts, and I have turned off other, which is probably something for developers. And you can see all the different things that Spotlight searches for. And if there's things in there that you don't want, then you just turn it off. Very simple. So there you go. So sometimes you go into full screen and the menu bar disappears. And maybe you accidentally went into full screen and now you can't get it out. The way you get out is you just take your cursor up to the top and the menu bar will appear. However, you can fix that by going to the Control Center in Settings and set automatically hide menu bar to never. So let's go to Settings. And we're going to go to Control Center right here. And we're going to go down to the bottom. And you can see it says automatically hide and show the menu bar. And your choices are always on desktop only, in full screen only, and never. So if you click on never, you'll always have a menu bar and you won't get lost. While we're here, you'll notice this is something new in Sequoia. They put all the menu bar settings in the Control Center. Some of these were in individual apps or individual areas in like Wi-Fi. You had a setting down usually at the bottom to put the Wi-Fi icon in the menu bar. Well, now it's in Control Center. So you go to Control Center and pick what you want to show in the menu bar. So you can show Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, AirDrop, Focus, Stage Manager, Screen Mirroring, Display, Sound, So anything that you want in the menu bar you can have, and then there's other things here like accessibility shortcuts and music recognition, hearing, and fast user switching. And then down here you have your clock options. So this is where you can tell it to show the date when space allows, or you can do it always or never. And you can also turn on show the day of the week, and you can choose your clock style, and you can also turn on display time in seconds, which is something that I find useful. So let's go into screenshots that save to the desktop. Well, maybe you don't want them cluttering up your desktop. So what you do is you go to Shift Command 5, you choose Options, Other, Location, and you choose another folder or you create one. So let's go into the Finder, and then we're going to do a Shift Command 5. So you can see here we have Options right here, and you can see we have Other Location right here. So normally where I put my screenshots are in a folder called Screenshots 3, but if I wanted to create another folder, I would go down here to New Folder, give it a name, and then I would choose that folder to store all my desktop, all my screenshots, I should say. So that's a good way to keep it from cluttering up your desktop. And to get out of that, you see the little camera icon, you hit escape. So that brings us to any questions or comments that you may have. And to my request to please share the GoFor Gazette, which comes to you every Monday morning about 7 o'clock in the a.m. with somebody else you know that uses Mac and Apple devices. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe by clicking on the little button down below. And Zoom Workplace has updated once again, so now they're on version 6.5.0. Not sure why they put the 0 in there, but that's the way they wrote it, so that's the way I wrote it. And tonight, the Tucson Macintosh User Group meets at 6 p.m. for Ask Me Anything, where you can do just that. At 7 o'clock, we have the main meeting, which is going to have the WWDC recap. And Bob and I are going to tell you about travel tech. So to get ready for your summer travel. So you want to stay tuned for that. So let's see where we are here with our questions. And let me get over here. And so, okay. So Leslie Ann wants to know, what is Stage Manager? Well, Stage Manager is an idea that Apple came up with that hardly anybody uses that I know of, to quickly switch back and forth from your applications. So let me see if we can demonstrate Stage Manager for you. So we're going to go to Settings. And we're going to go to Desktop and Dock. Okay, so we're going to go to Stage Manager, and let's see if we go to Finder. And get rid of this. So let's uncheck that. And now let's go to Finder. And okay. So here we are in Finder. And we got preview. We don't want that. Okay. Obviously, I don't use Stage Manager. And oh, here we go. Okay, so now there's Stage Manager. And we can show recent apps in Stage Manager. So here we are. So it puts your, you can see it puts your apps over here, so you can go to recently used apps. That's what you do, but most people find that it's not that useful. So that's what Stage Manager is all about. So I'm going to go back in here and go back to, there we go, and go back here. Here we go. So that's what Stage Manager is all about. And let's see what else we got here. So Chris says, good stuff today. Thank you. So serve some good ideas. And Roger and I will be giving a presentation tonight at the T-Bug meeting about traveling with tech. Please join us. We'd love to have you. And don't those Apple people use focus groups? Yeah, you know, the Apple software developers decided that Stage Manager was a good idea, but again, I don't know. So it's there if you want to use it, but I don't know of anybody that does. So thank you all for your participation, and I hope to see you tonight at the TMUG meeting. And if you have any questions or suggestions about things that we might be covering on Go for Lunch, please contact me with the phone number or the email that's coming up here shortly. So until next Tuesday at high noon, have a great week and take care.